I'm joined by new University of Central Oklahoma wide receiver Danny Armstead. Danny, thank you for taking time this evening to come on and talk to me. Could you start by telling the listeners and viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Danny Armstead. I'm originally from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and then I moved with my parents to Plano, Texas in fifth grade, and then moved back to Broken Arrow my junior year spring ball, tried to play for Broken Arrow, and then had some eligibility issues, so I had to come back right before the season and play for Plano East High School, and then ended up going to Central Arkansas D1 FCS out of high school, and then hit the portal, and then I had a lot of offers, and then ended up UCO was home for me.
Now, so you mentioned you're originally from Broken Arrow. Anybody that follows high school football in this state knows what Broken Arrow, what kind of program that is. So, what was it? What was it like, kind of growing up in that community with a program of that magnitude?
It's big. Like Broken Arrow, it just gets you prepared for the next level. And a lot of people don't understand about Broken Arrow. Like the top tier of Oklahoma football, like Owasso, Jinx, Union, their facilities and their coaches can coach at the D1 level. Like Broken Arrow's facilities were better than my FCS D1 facilities. Just the position coaches knew just as much as the D1 coaches, and it was just not a big adjustment. Like I got there and I knew the techniques, I knew the what the schemes were, and I could it was easy to come in and play right away.
And then you mentioned that you ended up moving to Plano, Texas. So now what was that adjustment like for you?
It was adjustment. I mean, Dallas is a lot more fast paced than Broken Arrow. Tulsa, you think you still close to the city, like you think you live in, but when you get to Dallas suburb area, it's different. Everything's Broken Arrow, everything's Union, everything's Jinx, everything's real nice. Every city has what you need: a mall, Whataburger, Chick-fil-A, Walmart. But it was an adjustment. But coming from Broken Arrow, the high population school wise, I mean, doing 6A Texas, it wasn't too much. Just maybe less, definitely less country for sure.
And from a football standpoint, because Texas is a state that takes its football very, very, very seriously. So what was it like playing high school football in Texas?
It was going to Broken Arrow my junior year spring ball. It didn't seem like a too big difference. The top tier Oklahoma can compete with anybody in the state of Texas, I feel like. So, like my school, we were up and down every year. My junior year, we lost in the first round of the playoffs, and then my senior year, real bad record. So, but Texas high school football is definitely what it means. Like every given Friday, you're gonna have to put it all out there. Every team's gonna have D1 commits. Every team gonna have big stadiums. The stadiums I played Texas high school football are bigger than the ones I played at the FCS level. So my high school stadium can compete with any D1 FCS stadium. Everything's really top tier.
And then I know you mentioned before, I've got to come on here now that you tried to go back to Broken Arrow, and you weren't able to. So now, what kind of was that whole experience like? Here you're moving back from Texas to Broken Arrow. You're there for a little bit. You learn you have to go back to Texas in order to play. What was that experience like?
It was definitely a lot at once. Like Broken Arrow will always have like a special place in my heart. And I really wish I could have lived my whole life there. Like all the memories, the friendships I have. I even know people at UCO just from when I was younger at Broken Arrow. And it's just like Oklahoma's always felt like home deep down, even though I know Texas a lot more. So it was really fun to go back for around 8 months, just get re in touch with all my friends. I felt like I was at home again. It's just a good vibe, very friendly family vibe. Everything. Texas is so much going on, so many people. It's kind of like next in line, or you don't really know people going to Walmart. You don't see people. You just see different people every day. So it was just different there. But definitely the hard part for me was I did half a spring ball, half a fall camp for Broken Arrow until I got the news. So when I came back to Plano East, I'm starting from last string. We don't care if you were already starting here. You got to earn it back. I come from fifth string to first string around mid-season. So it was a lot of waiting for my opportunity, making the best of it. When I get in, make a big play, and then eventually I just started the rest of the season. But they definitely made me earn it back.
So now, how tough was that when you came back? Because obviously you were starting, and then now you're back at the bottom of the totem pole, but knowing you should be starting. Like, how did you kind of like humble yourself in order to get back that starting spot?
I always knew that if I controlled what I needed to control, I was gonna be fine. Cause I knew where the depth chart was when I left, and I knew if I came back, like there was a lot of kids that like I know for sure like it would give me a week, and I would already be back at third, and then back at second. So it was a lot of like just controlling what I can, and then letting people realize that like I should probably be starting no matter that I came like mid like the beginning of the semester back.
And you mentioned earlier about did you just had to make the most of the opportunities when it presented itself. But like some people might press in that situation, like, okay, I'm only going to get 5 snaps. I have to make the most of these 5 snaps. How did you kind of be able to not put as much pressure on yourself to go out there and execute at a high level when your number was called?
Yeah, it's definitely hard because my two older brothers they played D1 football, FCS full ride scholarship. So I was trying to be next in line, and going out there first game, special teams, one series, and it was like the series I got in it was blocking. And it was like man, like it was hard. But eventually, over the games progressed. It was one series, 3 series, 5 series start. So eventually, it was just go in, catch the ball, get as many yards as I can, and let the coaching staff know that when I get in, I'm gonna make the best opportunity. And then eventually they realized like we got to keep that dude out there. So I didn't have the best stats in high school because I had to earn my starting role, but I think the college coaches a lot of the college coaches that recruited me seen me do spring ball at Broken Arrow, so they were like, we kind of know what we're getting. Like I know your senior film, but we know what we're getting after spring ball because I was just making plays over plays against top tier talent on Broken Arrow. Miles Slusher. They got a bunch of kids that did really good. I don't know if you know him, but yeah, they put out a lot of talent. So me just going against those people in spring ball, it was already enough for them.
And when because I did watch your senior film. I was stuck out to me. You were really effective in the return game. Now I know, like I feel like people might just think it's really easy. You just field the ball and you run as fast as you can. But there's like there's obviously a science to it. You have to have vision. You have to know where the holes are. You have to know whether or not, okay, do I fair catch this? Do I kneel it? Do I take the chance? So could you just like walk the people who might not know, kind of just explain how tough that returner role is?
It's tough for a lot of people, and then it's not tough for a lot of people. It's I feel like it's a real big like imbalance. It's like I've been playing since I was like 5. INFC, Broken Arrow Tigers. Like I'm out there youth league playing for BA Black, BA Gold, BA Silver, kick return, running back. I'm doing everything. So me playing from since I was so young, you just have like that football it factor when you get the ball in your hands, make everybody miss. And like I went from running back to receiver, and it was an adjustment. But just by like having running back in my background, there's a certain thing when you get the ball, make someone miss, truck, stiff arm, juke, step back, keep going, go faster, lead them on, like all that stuff. And like returning is like get the ball in your hand, it's back how you playing running back. Just make people miss. Go this way, go that way. It's more of that stuff.
And like, how do you know? I guess when to what? How do you know when to make a return and when to just fair catch it or kneel it? Like, what do you have to see in that split second that tells you, okay, I can make something happen here, or no, I better just fair catch or just take this touchback?
You kind of get a feel for the game. It's more like when they kick it, if it's like in the air a long time and you see the people coming down way too fast, it's like I'm gonna catch and get hit. So like fair catch. And then sometimes when you have that like I need a spark play, we need a spark play, it ain't stay in the air too long. Everybody's trying to block for real. You kind of just get it and we out to the races.
You mentioned that you made the move from running back to wide receiver. What was the hardest part of that transition?
The hardest part was more in until you get to like senior high varsity JV, a lot of receivers blocking. Like middle school, freshman team, you're out there receiver, but you might throw one fade a game. So it wasn't too much get the ball in your hands in space and go. So I had to learn to like still like try to progress at receiver instead of just doing because a lot of like younger is like jet sweeps, bubbles, not running routes for us. So I had to still like try to progress my technique, my route running, even though in little like kind of like down levels, you're just doing like jet sweeps and like hitch routes and bubbles.
And how long would you say it took you to kind of feel comfortable in that wide receiver in that wide receiver role?
Probably like 2 years. Probably like two years just playing slot, and then I had a big growth spurt right before my junior year, and then went to outside. And outside, it's a lot different. It's more like press man, throw the ball up. I'm just gonna take it from you. A lot of one-on-one press, get open on this route. Scott's more like find your opening in the defense, bubbles, short routes, do something with it. So it was an adjustment, just like moving outside, just because I'm getting bigger. But I can definitely go back to slot. I can do both. I've already talked to the coaching staff about doing both, so I'm comfortable with both for sure.
Now, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the outside or do you prefer the slot?
I prefer outside. I like slot more, but I feel like I like my skills are better for outside. But I can definitely come in the slot just because my routes. I can definitely do slot too. But I'm more comfortable by just doing straight slot for my last school. I mean, straight outside for my last school that I got real comfortable. Like I learned how to get open at outside. So, but I can definitely go back to slot if need to be.
Now you mentioned that because you mentioned that obviously your senior year you kind of had to earn your playing time, so the film wasn't what you would have hoped, but you were still getting recruited based off the spring you had at Broken Arrow. So what was that initial recruiting process like for you, and how did you decide that Central Arkansas was the school you wanted to start your career at?
Man, playing 6A Texas, you would think that all the colleges come to spring ball to watch, but a lot of coaches call before coming to your school and being like, "Do you have any big time dudes?" And Plano East, the year before me, we had a bunch of people go D1. Basically the whole receiver corps went somewhere and played. So and they went to the playoffs. So my junior year spring ball at Plano East, it was like I see Alabama there, OU there, OSU there, Texas, Oregon, LSU, all the coaches coming. And then I heard that the spring ball I did at Broken Arrow that there was only D2 coaches that really came and swung by. So when I went to Broken Arrow, Broken Arrow they can compete with anybody. Alabama there. I seen OU offensive coordinator, LSU head coach. I seen everybody there. So Broken Arrow gives you the platform to make plays in front of big time FBS Power 5 coaches. So it was just about when they're at practice making a one-handed catch, one-on-ones going 100%. Team blocking downfield, making every catch that's thrown to you. And a lot of the coaches are like, you make a play, they look at you and write your name down, and you get a follow on Twitter the next day. So it's just Broken Arrow gave me the platform to like get shown by a lot of coaches. So
And what was it about Central Arkansas that made you decide that that's where you wanted to sign?
yeah, I had Central Arkansas. It just everything felt right. They had I like the stadium. They have the stripes. I had a good relationship with the receiver coach there, and I felt like they were going to give me an opportunity to just compete at a high level. And it wasn't too far from home. Texas to Arkansas, maybe 4 hours. So it was just a good fit. Division I football. It was good, and then ended up in the portal. So everything didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but yep, definitely was. Yeah.
And now you signed in 2020. Obviously, it was the pandemic, the COVID year. What was that experience like? Because here you are, you're moving to your third state, you're starting at a new school, you're a freshman trying to make a name for himself, and then you get hit with that. So, what was that experience like?
Yes, Central Arkansas was one of the only FCS schools to play a full schedule. A lot of teams were playing 2 games, no games. I think UCO did a scrimmage. So my school was one of the lucky schools that like had a full season schedule. We wanted a full season so bad we played teams twice, like a bunch of teams twice. We played Missouri State twice, Eastern Kentucky twice. We just wanted to schedule. We even played Missouri Western, the D2 school in the double MIA, just to have a full schedule. It was I was just lucky to be a part of a team that had a full schedule during COVID. They handled it real well. Wasn't too many cases, and it was just even though I redshirted, it was still fun to like feel like it was just a full season. So
Now, you mentioned the game against Missouri Western. Now, one of your new teammates, Kellen Culberson, he was at Stephen F. Austin. during the pandemic. They played, I believe it was Pitt State. And I remember him saying that a lot of his teammates were kind of surprised by the level of talent that they faced. Was it a similar experience for you guys in terms of some guys being surprised that maybe Missouri Western was better than they had thought, just given that they were a D2 program?
Man, I remember it like it was yesterday. The first drive, you would have thought Missouri Western was a top FCS program. They started on like the 2015, just a 15 play, just getting third down, just drive it down. Plays, it was 31, you knew they were running it, dive, they ran it, first down. It was like stuff like that. It was just like you're doing what you want, you're just like taking it down the field. And then for the first two drives, they scored. I think we didn't score, and then after a while, you can tell like the depth issue, more like their backups. Like when they had to put backups in, it was kind of like a drop off. So I think that's really when UCA kind of had like a big like it turned the game. So like when it came to depth, you could see the difference, but definitely like the starting size and skill wise, it wasn't a drop off. So if they just had if there was more depth, like the starters wasn't drop off second string, then they would have definitely kept in the game.
And then so we get past COVID year. It's last season. So last season, you're off redshirt. You're finally able to play. What was that? What was that first game like where there was a chance you would get in the ball game instead of just knowing that I'm here supporting my teammates?
Yeah, it's always a good feeling to know that you have a chance, but it was hard just like trying to like get on special teams, do special teams. And even though I'm a redshirt freshman, I'm trying to get in there and play like first string. And I was fortunate and unfortunate to have two top All-American receivers on my ball club. One's had a mini camp with the Jaguars and Juan Winningham, and then the other, Charlie Hudson, transferred to Louisville, and now he's going to go to the NFL. So after our first string, no one really else got a chance to get in the game. So it was all about like getting in on special teams, just being a supportive team player, and that's what it was about. So.
And so at some point after the season, you decide to enter the portal. So what went into that decision for you?
Yeah, so the receiver coach that recruited me to Central Arkansas, he left after that season. So they brought a new position coach in, and I just felt like it was a good opportunity for me to get out and just see what else is out there for me. I felt like I was kind of stuck, and I just wanted to change the scenery, and it was definitely a great decision for my mental health too, just to get out of there and just find a new home for me.
And now because the portal gets tossed around as this big scary void where you might go in and you might not come out. So what was your experience like being in the portal?
Yeah, so I knew I was thinking the same thing. And there's gonna be people in my situation that are at a higher level. So there's gonna be people that hit the portal at FBS, Alabama, OU, OSU that enter the portal. So I just felt like I wanted to get a head start on those guys of getting in the portal. So I entered the portal earlier, and just giving us like a week, they put the date for FCS players to hit the portal. I think it was the 21st of November, and then FBS guys was December 5th. So just entering it the first date possible, the 21st of November, and just DMing all the coaches that recruited me out of high school, texting all the coaches I said no to in high school, texting every coach on my contact list, DMing every coach that follow me on Twitter. It's a grind, like staying up till 2 a.m., texting coaches the same, copy and paste. Can you look at my film, coach, please? I'm interested. It's a lot. Following all these coaches, it's a lot. It's definitely like having a part-time job. But at the end of the day, I handled the transfer portal excellent because I reached out to a lot of coaches and got a lot of feedback. So I definitely handled it a lot better than a lot of kids. A lot of kids think into the portal and everybody's gonna call my number out of nowhere, but there's 3,000 kids in there, so you're gonna have to hit the coaches up first. But a lot of coaches they don't. A lot of players don't understand.
So at some point during that process, UCO rose above the rest. So what was it about UCO that stuck out to you the most?
UCO, it just feels like a great spot for me. Like everything is top tier. Like UCO's facilities top tier, the coaching staff's top tier. Coach Doro's definitely top tier. He knows how to win at this level to the highest ability. You know, their coaches have D1 experience. Coach Curley coached at Abilene Christian D1. You know, Coach Gilbert played Kansas State, Ball State. You know, he's been everywhere you need to know. Like, coaching staff is top tier. Facilities are better than the D1 schools that I have visited. They have a lot of students. You know, they have more students than the school I came from, Division I school. You know, everything's just top tier, and I'm really surprised they're not a D1 school based off what I've seen. But yeah, UCO just felt like home. I took my official visit. You know, the coaching staff very loving, caring. You know, the scheme, it just fit me. You know, everything just felt right. Everything clicked. You know, I love the city. The players I met on the team are so welcoming. You know, I feel like I get along with those guys, and everything just felt a little too good to be true. But I'm definitely gonna go with it. Yeah.
Now, I normally ask, you know, like what can UCO fans expect to see out of you? But watching your Central Arkansas tape, I feel like they're gonna see a guy that's gonna just go up there and go get the ball. I mean, there was catches. Right. I'm not gonna lie to you, Daddy. I was like, what? I mean, we just going one hands and contest the game. Yep. I'm sitting here baffled. wait. I was just like, wait a minute now. This can't be right. So given that now, so because you're joining a very good receiving core, returning a lot of players. So what can UCO fans expect to see out of Danny Armstead in the UCO uniform?
Sir, my goal is to come here and compete right away. You know, start, make plays. You know, when my number's called, make a catch. You know, 3rd and long. Everybody knows that someone has to get open. I want to be that guy. Come in and make a play. You know, just hit the top off the defense, deep plays, deep shots. You know, 3rd and long, just getting the comeback, getting it to me, getting it to me in space. You know, all that just helping the receiver core so far. You know, they already got great players. You know, number 1, he's a great player. Ridge is a good player. You know, TD is a good player. So maybe just that 4th guy to come in and maybe go 4 receivers and just be able to hit it across the field. You know, and I feel like that's what I can do. For sure.
And it comes to the right place because your quarterback, Stephon Brown, one of the most exciting quarterbacks not only in the conference but in the country. Very good arm, elite arm. You mentioned number 1, Jacob Delso. He was a transfer just like you last year. Kind of came in unknown and then left the season feeling like he's one of the better options. I really like the core. I feel like there's a good mixture. There's deep threats. There's guys like you that can do both. Guys like Jacob that can do both. There's Madison, more of a physically opposing looking guy. So I'm definitely excited to see what you all do. But then you mentioned the relationship with Coach Curley. What was it about Coach Curley that kind of stood out to you the most?
He really knows what he's talking about, and a lot of the coaches, like, they know how to get you to come. They know what you want to hear. They know what to say. But Coach Curley, he knows more than that. He knows how to coach receivers. He played receiver at a high level at the school he was at. He broke records at that school. He knows the technique. He knows the scheme. You know, he even helps call plays. He knows a lot about football, and he can develop receivers. And he can just teach me a lot. Just getting the small time I had with him on my visit, he knows what he's talking about. And I feel like he can definitely develop me from beyond where I'm already at. And he's young too, so he know how to relate to younger players and not just like get on them when it's time, but also like know how to talk to people.
Now I know just talking to Coach Curley, he's big on blocking. Now I know a lot of receivers don't necessarily like to block. Where do you kind of fall in that? Like, is it more of I'll block because I have to, or do you kind of enjoy blocking?
You know, I enjoy pancake blocking, but it's harder than it seems. You know, there was games in high school and even in college where you know you can pancake that guy, so you're gonna do it anyways. But, blocking is definitely not my favorite because I want to catch the ball. But I know how to get it done when it's needed. And there's a lot of techniques to block without getting hurt or using all your strength. So maybe just run off the guy, have the right angle, have the right technique. It don't take all the strength or like want to at all. But I know when I have to like put my head down and take someone down. So.
And you mentioned catching. I just there's several clips I saw where you found just was mossing defenders. So now like what? Okay, so now like what? Because it I don't want to say how because obviously I'm seeing how, but like how do you kind of when the ball's in the air? How are you kind of judging on how to attack the ball, how to attack the defensive back? Because that's a split second decision when that ball's in the air. So what is that process like for you?
In high school, I realized that mossing and all that is just about want to. It's about jumping up as high as you can and being the one that takes it down. It's all up here. I mean, my hands are super big. I wear 4XL, but at the end of the day, it's all about just wanting to go get the ball. And I realized once I realized that all you have to do is just want the ball more, you'll make some crazy catches, And it's all about you see the ball, just going and getting it. And it's not really technique, like form, you can teach that, but it's all about winning the ball. Like, it's really simple. It's all about winning the ball and being the one that's going to take it down. A lot of the catches, it's just like the corner don't want it bad enough, and I want it way better. So a lot of the time, it's just I'm going to go get the ball and take down with it because I'm here to make plays. Like, I don't have no room for error. I'm here to take the ball. Like, it's kind of like fighting, like a split-second fighting. Like, I want it better than you.
Now, my final football-related question for you. Now, I saw you had that one-handed catch. Because the reach on that catch, I'm sitting there and I was like, no, I did not see that. So I rewounded, and sure enough, you just like, I mean. Like how are we doing that? Because you weren't even straight. You were like falling backwards. You reached and you got it with the like. How are you maintaining control? Like I feel like that's kind of overlooked in receivers. Like this is immaculate body control. So like, how are you able to contort your body like that and still make an impressive catch like that?
Yeah, so that's a little bit different than mossing. That's just me knowing like my body. And a lot of people, don't wear 4XL gloves. And a lot of people, don't have like longer arms than me. So I knew all I had to do was put my arm out there and I was going to take it down. A lot of balls I know I can catch one-handed, but I don't want to hear from the coaches like two hands, start trying to look pretty. But that's one of them balls that's like only one hand going to get it, only one arm going to reach out there. And I knew I was going to catch that. So, but that was definitely one of my best catches ever all time. Like, I wasn't even surprised. I just did this, all God. I knew I had it.
Okay, now when you go with the one hand, like you said, that's not necessarily the most popular thing among coaches. So how do you decide, okay, this might be an opportunity for me to take the risk and go for the one-handed catch?
Yeah, so a lot of that is very risky. There's been a lot of balls where I knew like I can easily one-hand this, but I don't want to be a show-off. But that ball is like, if you stick two hands out there, you probably dropping that because it was so far behind. So I knew the best way I was gonna catch that ball was one arm, and it was like at that point it was like I'm gonna stick one hand, and if you get mad, like that wasn't even supposed to get caught. That ball, you can agree, it wasn't supposed to get caught. So me just having the effort to stick the hand out is like, hey. So that's more what it was.
Sure. Well, before I get you out of here, we do this with all the new guests, kind of some more get to know you type questions. So your favorite sports team can be any sport.
Easily, the New Orleans Saints, Oklahoma State Thunder.
Okay, now I have to ask, as a Saints fan, are we on the Jameis Winston train?
Jameis Winston's back is hurt, so we don't know. Like last year, he did real good. This year, he had like broken ribs, I think, and like broken back. I don't know. It was one of them, and he hasn't played since. And Andy Dalton is everybody knows he's a backup quarterback. So I know we're 4-8. I think 4-9 now, but that's Andy Dalton. But I feel like Sean Payton might come back next year. He said the Saints is his top team if he comes back and coaches. That changes everything. Play calling. Sean Payton went 9-8 with Trevor Siemian last year. So he get James Winston back, you don't know. And then if we get everybody back on defense, we stay healthy, we're an older team, maybe draft a young quarterback in the second round. We don't have our first-round pick. Maybe get Anthony Richardson, early first-round pick, you know. Just I want us to just run it back and not rebuild because we have too many guys that are just real close to their peak, you know. Lattimore, you know, Cameron Jordan, they got Davis, I think. Yeah, the linebacker, you know. They got Marcus May, Tyrann Mathieu, Michael Thomas hitting 30, you know. Jarvis Landry getting older. Everybody's kind of at their peak, so I don't think we should just blow it up yet.
So now, how many years should they give it before they just say, you know what, we had a good run, but we got to start this over? Because right now, that's kind of where my Steelers are at. We're getting to that point where it's like, we might got to just go ahead and blow this thing up. So, like, at what point do you feel like that needs to be the move for the Saints?
I've been seeing the Saints being the winning program for so long. It's going to be hard to see them just rebuild. But I say, if we can't get it done next year, we're definitely need to rebuild it because everybody's getting way too old to keep it going. So I would say next year, depending if we make playoffs, if we don't, I say trade all our top players like Michael Thomas and them. But if we might do something next year. We get Sean Payton and everybody back. James Winston starting center Andy Dalton, we might do something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, your favorite Saints player?
Man, my favorite player was CD Deuce, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, but he got traded, bro. Like, I don't know why they traded that dude. He was our spark player. He was our team captain. He's standing on everything. Everybody knew that's our guy. If you want to see the Saints, we're putting him in front. And I was mad they traded him. But after he left, you know, everybody just kind of the same for me. Maybe Rashid Shaheed. He's kind of like a spark young receiver. That's maybe my favorite. But after Chauncey Gardner-Johnson left, I really ain't had a favorite.
Okay. See, your favorite hobby outside of football?
NCAA 14, easy. I have it in my room right now. I play it every day. I'm in like a 15-year dynasty, you know, using Idaho, the worst team. What's funny is I rebuild them. I made a team full of walk-ons. You know that game get too easy playing on Heisman. You got to make it so hard just to have fun. So you know I'm playing independent schedule, playing Alabama, LSU, Ohio State at their place every week. You know how they get. So NCAA 14 all day. Everybody try to play me in Madden 2K. No, I'm playing NCAA 14. So. Yep.
See, I'm glad to hear. See, I bring up that's about the only game I play too as well. Only reason why I still have my 360, and everybody kind of like looks at me crazy, but like to me, that's the last really good football game. Like,
thank you.
Madden in the past decade has just not been it, and I'm like, yes, I get the game. The game's like 8 years old, and I'm like, but it's still really good. Now, I do have to ask. Now, because you mentioned you're building up Idaho. Now, are we low-lock cheesing, though, in recruiting?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, yeah.
Oh, come on. You know you can't.
It's hard not to. It's hard not to.
You gotta have some house rules, man. You gotta say, all right, I'm only going to recruit the guys in my top 10 or my top 3.
Sometimes I play and make rules where like I can only recruit this state or 3 stars and down, or I did one where I only recruited straight athletes. So my O-line and D-line was bad, but I'll be doing some rules. But Idaho, I'm trying to compete with Alabama real quick, so I had to go get those 5 stars with no offers, man. I had to get them.
That's brutal. Yeah,
had to.
Yeah. Now, are we using the updated rosters, or do you still use the default rosters?
I use the updated, but I'm trying to figure out how to get the
revamped,
the mod. Yeah,
the revamped.
Yeah, someone told me I had to send my Xbox to like Nevada and pay like $200. I'm not doing all that. Like, if I come there and you can help me figure out the revamp, I would pay you. But it sounds like too much stuff.
Yeah, I don't know either because I'm also on the Xbox because my PS3 version decided it wanted to like glitch out on me. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm stuck with the default game as well. I just got the updated rosters, and thankfully before Team Builder completely like shut down,
Yeah.
I snagged the Georgia Southern, an App State, and a Coastal Team Builder. So
Mhm.
I'm able to just replace I think it's New Mexico State, Idaho, and UMass
Yeah.
with them, and then just edit the coaches. But yeah, no, I don't know. That's also above me. But you can't be now. Now, do we use sliders though?
It depends what league. It depends what league. Like if I'm using a good team, I have the sliders to help them. But Idaho, everything 50-50-50 for right now. I'm still trying to get my team right, So
You got. I mean, but you got to put the slot there. You got to put the sliders in there to get the challenge though. Now
I'm on Heisman with Idaho. I'm still in the early stages of rebuild. I only get 500 points. I don't got the 700 yet. I'm still early in the coaches stuff, so I can't get all the 5 stars. Just some.
Now, okay. Now, what? Now, now I don't know where you get your sliders from. I don't know if or if you get the rosters, you must know Operation Sports, the website that you can find the roster. So now, when you do use sliders, which slider set are you rocking with?
I kind of I looked up on YouTube one day which sliders, and I kind of just put them to where they had them. I didn't really look too much into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. No, I'm also an NCAA gamer. I
Gotta
currently have a. I don't want to say it's like a throwaway dynasty, but it's like a kill time dynasty until like I have more time to seriously put into a dynasty with default roster in Mexico State. I think I'm 3-0 on
Okay.
their default sliders, but I'm not low lock cheesing. I'm looking at guys in my top 3 and guys in the state of Mexico. And let me tell you, I found a 68 overall tackle and was about to cry tears of joy. So I'm telling you,
I got a New Mexico dynasty, but I try to do a lot where only New Mexico athletes, and there's not enough that come on the game. They come with like 10.
Yeah, see, like, what you got to do in that case is like what I would do is just choose like all the states that don't generate a lot. So I'd be like New Mexico, the Dakotas, Idaho, Maine, like Connecticut, like all of those, and it would give you a decent pool to where like hopefully you could fill out at least a starting on offense and defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because I think I've got so I have an Alaska team builder. I'm thinking about doing an all walk on for that, and seeing how that goes. But yeah, you can't low lock cheat. Okay, now I'm hoping that your playbook does not consist of read options and forwards.
Nah, my playbook is all multiple. I got I formation, 4 tight ends, 2. I got spread it out 5 wide. I got full house pistol. I got spread. I got 3 tight ends, 2 fullbacks. I got all of it. I like to play like I can flip from 5 receivers to no receivers. I like that kind of stuff. Definitely when you're playing other people and you can get 3rd and 1, just run power dive with like a bunch of fullbacks, and then you can go back to 4 verse 5 wide. Then I had, of course, the read option. I don't got the wing T read option, but I got the like spread just wing read option stuff for sure.
Now I give you credit for using the fullbacks because, as you know, in recruiting, that like unless they have you first, like everybody offers the fullbacks in the.
Yep.
I'm saying like it's a full. Like I get it's a fullback. I don't mean any disrespect. Usually has a very good one in Andrew Carney, but it's like in week 1 you've got like 10 offers. It's just I mean, so I usually just end up trying to find like an undersized tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And then recruiting them and then moving them over. It's just like, it's so bad.
They recruit them too hard on that game. It's not realistic.
I know it's like fullbacks, middle linebackers.
Yeah.
You just have 0 shot. Like unless they have you first, you have no shot. Yeah. And it's like, it's so So bad. It's so okay. Well, I'm glad there's another NCAA lover here. That's very good. Um, there's some really good NCAA YouTubers out there that I watch sometimes when I play along. It's just okay, good. This is very good. Okay, glad. I'm glad. Okay, let's see. Your favorite musical artist?
Big 30. You know him?
I do not.
It's a rapper out of he from Memphis, Tennessee. That's my favorite. He kind of popular. I'm surprised you don't know him. That's my favorite as of right now.
Okay, and you said his name was what again?
Big 30.
Okay, we'll have to look him up then.
Yeah, it's some music that you just like go like this to the whole time. Like you got some speakers in the trunk, you do go like it's like some you ready to play football music. Like yeah, like that. Yeah.
That okay, so now you lived in Texas for a period of time. So I asked all the Texans this now. Did you ever get into the local rap scene there, like the Paul Walls, Zeros, Trader Truth, those kind of guys? No,
They don't sound familiar. Yeah.
no. You know, you got to pass. You got to pass because you weren't a native Texan. I give you a pass. I'm just always interested just to see who. Okay.
It's all
Let's
good.
see. Let's see. Okay, your favorite food.
I like pancakes. That's my favorite. Yep. I like to go to IHOP. Some good pancakes. Man, some homemade pancakes. I can eat that all day, every day. Yep.
Okay, why are we pancakes over waffles?
Oh, that's easy, man. Waffle House is good for like when it's the only option late night. But if a lot of IHOPs ain't 24/7 no more. But man, like I can do pancakes, IHOP, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like I used to go to IHOP for my birthdays growing up. I used to have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, all the time. Waffle House, you can get that 3 a.m. when people don't go to Waffle House all the time. And plus, like IHOP just better. It's definitely the best breakfast place of all time. Easy.
Okay. Now I know you just mentioned that you play into the NCAA on the 360. Now, if you play modern games, are we on the Xbox, the PlayStation, or the PC?
PS4. Anything I play that's not NCAA 14, I play PS4. I need to get a PS5. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I asked because only 3 people to my knowledge so far that I've talked to on the team are still Team Xbox. That would be your head coach, Coach Doro, your receivers coach, Coach Curley,
man,
and one of the punters, Bo Phelps. Everybody else is either PC or PlayStation. So
yeah, that sounds right.
So let's see. Okay, your favorite TV show?
Man, I don't be watching TV like that no more. I be doing a lot of Netflix movies. Really. I liked Last Chance U. So I like Last Chance U. I mean, All American, all the kind of like football stuff on Netflix. I don't really have cable or watch cable too much. So probably Last Chance U, man. I wish they were still coming out with something, man. But probably that or All American.
Okay.
All American on the down. Ever since they found out the like pop situation, it ain't been the same. If you've seen it, yeah.
I've not seen it yet. That's something that's still on my to-do list. So I will. Okay. You have any pregame routines or rituals that you normally do?
Just listen to music. Got some gum, listen to my favorite music. Get on Snapchat. Just nothing too serious, nothing too different. Just kind of the normal deal. I don't like to talk too much. Just listen to music, play on my phone until it's time to get busy, get to work.
Yeah. I guess my final. Well, okay. Before that, now, do you listen to Lil Wayne?
Nah.
No.
Okay. I know it's vintage, like 6 foot, 7 foot, like stuff everybody knows, but I don't really listen to him too much, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pass that question then. Okay. So that's my final question. My final question would be, do you have a message for the fans out there about what they can expect to see out of Danny Armstead in a UCO uniform?
You know, you can expect a competitor when the lights turn on. You know, I'm gonna go out there, leave it all on the field. You know, I take pride in just competing when it's time to go and just make plays and just I'm really just eager to just come out and I really want to start the season when I get there. You know, just put on the gear. You know, hear the whistle blown and just get to work right away. You know, hopefully the fans come out and everything. I feel like just all the guys that got there already and already people I seen come in on Twitter and stuff. UCO gonna be something scary, man. Like they definitely gonna be ready to go. Definitely with Coach Doro, him getting his second year in, or yeah. So I've been on visit with the people that plan on coming here. It's gonna be scary for sure. Like y'all got to come out and watch.
Well, Danny, I appreciate you taking time just even to come on and talk to me. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can do after watching the highlight tapes. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. And if you ever want to come back on, you're more than welcome to.
All right, I'll let you know. Appreciate that, man.
No problem. Thank you, Danny.